We've been talking about men a lot. Are men in crisis in America? We have talked about how hard it is for so many men to date these days. We've also talked about the friend problem. 1 in 7 men actually admit they have no friends. I mean, there's a lot to unpack. Those are a lot of kind of really gloomy statistics, especially as the mom of 2 young men.
Right.
And what's happening? I mean, I would love to get your rundown, and then I want to run a couple of ideas past you, and you tell me if you agree or you disagree.
Okay. 9 times out of 10, the people that come at me with hate on social media are men. Mm. What is happening is women are out here soaring to new heights, breaking ceilings, getting degrees at record rates. They're leading the entrepreneurship world. They're dominating industries. Because there's a lot of men that are trying to play a 2025 game the same way you played a 1995 game. When the rules change and you guys and some of you keep playing and using the same play, too many men weren't taught emotional maturity. So they weren't taught to adapt. They weren't told how to react, to respond. All they had to do, watch this, all some men had to do in this country was be mediocre. And you got a Kool-Aid and a watch party and you worked for that company for 30 years. All you had to do is live in a zip code. Well, the world is open now. The competition is real. Go back to when we were younger. Who did their homework first in class? The ladies were doing the homework, not the men, because the men sometimes you're good at sports, you didn't even have to do your homework. So right now there is a wake-up call. If you don't upgrade your life, your mindset, your skills, your purpose, you're going to get left behind, my boy. The gap isn't because necessarily that women got better. Women been the same. Women now have access, so many men refuse to get better, and they get left behind, and they big mad.
Or just big sad too, right? And like you said, women have surged in most industries that used to be male dominated. So men today, I mean, this is what the experts are saying. So men don't feel essential at work in the way that they used to be. They're no longer the main breadwinner. This idea of being the patriarch. More women want to have co-equal partner versus, I'm the man and I bring home the money and you're going to be the happy homemaker. Now, for some people, that still works, and more power to you. But I think that's one of the reasons why men feel lost, right? And then you were talking about men on the internet and how they're very mean to you. They're often the ones that are the worst on the internet.
You want to know why? Because I'm a threat to them. When they see me, I make them so insecure. They see me and they're like, how dare he get that? But what we have learned in the United States of America, it wasn't that women weren't amazing. Women have been kept out.
Yeah.
So now that women have an opportunity, some men say things like this. They're stealing our jobs. They're trying to replace us. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of mediocre men that are extremely upset because they saw their mediocre daddy and granddaddy have a great life and get all those things because they were mediocre in the 60s and 70s. You can't be mediocre today.
And you shouldn't have been mediocre in the past either. But, okay, you were talking about now they withdraw to online, whether it's Reddit, YouTube, gaming, and basically what does the algorithm feed? They just talk about how broken everything is. So you got these really negative men. Meanwhile, the women are thriving. Okay, and we're speaking in very much generalities. Okay, I mean, so
I'm trying to be specific. And by the way, let me tell you something. Hey, Ursula, I love love that I have a woman co-host. I love that I have a woman boss. I love women bosses. You want to know why? I love it because I know that there's so many Roscoes and Dinos that are just so upset. And the truth is, she don't need you because she can cook, she can clean, she can clean her own car.
But we're not a better society when men are feeling lost now. Like,
were we better when women couldn't have a bank account?
So why can't we be equal? So here's my question. Here's my question. You know me. I'm going to try to find a solution.
Can we be equal?
That's just it. Why does one have to suffer? Okay, I want to ask y'all.
Okay.
If a man today is not measured by breadwinning or toughness or stoicism, what makes a good man? What is expected?
Unless we are going to start today going forward and change how the media, the movies, and TV have depicted the hero as being either the provider or the person that comes and saves the day. Captain America, Superman, Batman, all of the comic, right? There's always usually a man that comes and saves the day. So what I'm saying is today most people judge a man, sure, kindness and being nice, okay, that's great. But for the most part, people judge men, fortunately or unfortunately, by how they provide.
I think it goes beyond that.
Okay.
So I hear what you're saying, but I think it goes beyond that. Christopher in Mount Lake Terrace, before the break, asked the question, how about lifting men up instead of dumping on them? And that is one of the things that I say to my own sons when we talk about character. And for me, what makes a good man or makes a good person really is character, connection, and contribution. And what I mean by that is that when it comes to character, you do the right thing even when no one is looking. Take responsibility. Be honest. Be kind. Connection means showing up for the people you love. Communicate. Lift others up. Treat others with respect and empathy. And then contribution, work hard. And maybe that's the part where you're saying people still want men and expect men to be a provider. I'd say work hard, but also take care of yourself.
I just, before Chef says something, I just want to, guys, I want to tell you, this topic that we've talked about, we are starting now to get text messages from guys that are upset about this topic. And that's unfortunate because we're just saying what is. But it's also proven what that guy said. We have a male problem. Someone texted in and says the demonization of males, especially white males, has most definitely led to higher suicide rates. Gee just showed a perfect example of just that. The reason why he says Gee just showed an example of just that is because how dare Gee talk about this topic when it comes to men? That response, most responses don't come from secure men. The hate that you see on social media usually comes from insecure men. And so once we tackle that, then we can be a better society.
And I think it's imperative that we tackle that. Let's put it that way. We are not a good society if we have, again, half of our society struggling. And as a woman who has had to fight, as a woman of color who has had to fight to get where I am today. And, in my industry, in this industry where you see it's still largely male dominated in certain roles, it's been a fight. That said, I would never want men to continue to struggle and lose their identity. I mean, we're losing a whole generation of men.
But some of the same people that I know, but there used to be a time when they say make America great again, there used to be a time where people were okay with these folks struggling. They were okay with women not having these roles.
Yes.
They say things like on the sports side. This is why comments come in, hey, I don't want you talking about sports, woman. Get in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah,
That's
that
why
still
you
happens.
have those ignorant things that way.
Yeah.
People used to be okay with women staying in their place or this group of people staying in their place.